Westworld Season 4 Episode 8 Trailer Explained. With the penultimate episode of Season 4 recently being released, and a brand new trailer coming out for the season finale titled Que Sera Sera, which when translated into English means, what will be, it's definitely going to be an interesting one. With a lot at stake as we embark on the final episode, I thought I'd break down and explain all that there is to take away from the trailer. So let's get into it. Here is Westworld Season 4 Episode 8 Trailer Explained. Just to let you know, this video will contain spoilers. The trailer opened up with Christina standing at her bedroom window, uttering the line, "This whole thing seems like a bad dream." I feel this is alluding to a couple of different things. We've always seen her waking up whenever we're introduced to the character in an episode, so sleep and waking up is always present with the character, and the fact that she referred to it as a dream could be because we found out that she's not actually present in that world. She's a projection that's placed there that's not visible by anybody else other than a select few people in her narrative. We then had a shot of Christina with a reflection of herself behind her. I think this is insinuating the fact that there is somebody else behind the reason that she's there. We found out in the last episode that she wasn't actually in the world, but she was in fact a projection that was being placed there. The shot likely symbolized the two identities that are being held, and maybe the fact that the real Dolores could potentially be behind Christina. After this, we had a shot of William walking through the city that's now filled with destruction due to the orders of his own. Death, devastation, and a thick mist is what was present as he walked through the barren wasteland, along with what remained of some of the flies that were held inside of the tower, so this could prove to be damaging beyond the borders. Afterwards, we had William inside of a truck driving off. Whilst it looked as though he was being fired at, it's hard to tell who he pushed out of the car, but I'm inclined to say that it could potentially be Stubbs. We know that he dies in the show because of what Bernard said in episode 7, and I feel he'll die with some great importance, and being killed by William would be rather fitting. I also say this because I'm trying to think of who would potentially be after William, and it could well be Caleb and Frankie that are firing at the vehicle to get him to stop in an attempt to retrieve Stubbs. The next shot that we got was of one of the drone hosts retrieving Hale's body from the water, where she was killed by William in the last episode, and it looked as though they're going to be able to mend her. There's no sight of Maeve in the water, which makes me think that maybe she'd been retrieved by Caleb or Frankie following them escaping the tower. They would be the only people that would be likely to pick her up and move her from there, as they may want to reactivate her like last time. Although it could prove to be difficult if her pearl is severely damaged. The following shot was of Caleb turning his head upwards from looking down at the ground, and he looked upset. I think this could further support the point of them finding Maeve. He was close with Maeve and hadn't seen her in over 20 years, so seeing her like this could prove to be upsetting for him. After this, we had Clementine walking into a room and picking up a knife. The last we saw of her was in episode 6, where Hale ordered her to take out the humans that were on site. With Frankie present in the city and it looking like Caleb and her were running away shortly after, this could be in order to get away from Clementine. She would be after Frankie specifically, but with Caleb being different to the others, she may well be after him as well. The fact that Stubbs isn't there could signify that by this point, he may not be alive anymore. There's blood on the wall, so she may well have caused some damage already. Or this could just be there from when the order was placed by William for everybody in the city to all fight, until there were only the strongest left. The next shot was of the recording that Bernard did when he was in the tower. Judging by the gloves on the hands of the person that's holding it, it looks as though it's going to be Hale. In an interview that she did, she was wearing this exact outfit, so it makes me think that the drone hosts are going to be able to reactivate her. I think she'd then go on to find the recording, as it would be lying alongside Bernard's body, and then she would watch it. The line we heard in the trailer was, "This isn't the world that you wanted, but it's the one that you created. The question is, what happens next?" We saw this scene occur alongside who we presume is Hale holding on to what I would assume is Bernard's pearl. He's the only remaining key to the sublime, so with him now destroyed, Hale may extract his pearl in order to be able to access the sublime. Although judging by the final shot in the trailer, and also the opening scene in episode 7, the gateway looks as though it's going to be opening. We also had a shot of Stubbs in the trailer, looking as though he was getting ready to go and fight. Judging by the attire that he had on in the close-up, it does look as though it was resembling that of the person that was pushed out of the car by William, so I think that it could well be him. There was a shot of the city looking like it was being taken down, which could well be symbolizing an action that's being taken based off of what Bernard said to Hale about what happens next. Alongside it, we had a shot of the city in its current state, which was empty, and billowing with smoke coming from the top of all of the buildings, showing that it's in complete chaos. The final shot that we had in the trailer was of William on his horse, fully embodying the Man in Black persona that we as the audience are true fans of. Although in his host form, all of his actions have shown us that he is the exact same as his human form, a maniac that cannot be controlled. As he approached the split that was in the Hoover Dam, you could see elements of the valley beyond as you looked through, showing that a gateway could most certainly be opening and impacting the city that Hale had taken over. The final episode looks as though it's got a lot to offer, with a ton at stake. I think we're definitely going to see Hale being revived, her taking Bernard's pearl with the intention of potentially birthing a new world with better intentions, or she could be looking to access the sublime. Bernard knew what he was doing as he'd seen all of the outcomes. He knew William was going to walk in, as you could see his eyes move up prior to anything happening before William did actually enter. Civilization will fall, but there may be one way that he's able to save it, and that's now in the hands of Hale. I also think that Caleb and Frankie will find a way of being able to bring Maeve back. She's too important to the show and the story for her to be taken out like that, especially after she was just revived. Seeing as though there's going to be a season 5 of the show, she's just a character that I couldn't imagine not being in it. It's been an eventful season, one of the better ones, and with season 5 being on the cards, and it being the final season of the show, I can't wait to see how season 4 is going to finish and lead into the final season, along with the fate of not only the characters, but the city and the world as we know it. So, there you have it, Westworld Season 4 Episode 8 Trailer Explained. If you want to see more videos on Westworld such as endings explained, theories and predictions, and character breakdowns, then click on the I button. Or alternatively, you can head over to my channel where you'll find them all. If you want to give me a show or movie that you'd like me to review, then head over to my Twitter, @brainpilot_, and tweet me what show or movie you'd like me to review next. And finally, if you'd like to see what I rate the movies that don't quite make the cut to getting a dedicated video, then head over to my Letterboxd profile. It's where I rate the latest releases in real time. What do you think is going to happen in the season finale? Leave a comment down below, and don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you next time.